Good morning. I'd like to greet our special guest, of course, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Secretary Miguel, our favorite Labor Secretary, and of course, Zubiri, Senator Aquino. These senators have been really our prime movers in the Senate for helping micro, small, and medium enterprise. And Aquino here was the one who enacted the Go-Negosyo Act, which led to the rise of 460 Go-Negosyo stores. Thank you, Bam. Of course, my partner, Ramon Lopez. Come in, stop the interview. Ramon Lopez has been with Go-Negosyo for so many years. We both started. He was my executive director. And if not for him, Go-Negosyo would not be here today the way it is. And today, he is a trade secretary that's fighting for many of our micro and small entrepreneurs. Of course, I'd like to greet also our new partner, Mr. Okada. Mr. Okada will host all the next 3 summits and the ASEAN Business Awards in his new Okada Hotel. I would like to thank also our sponsors here. Of course, the SEC of SM, and of course, San Miguel, Ramon, ICPSI, BDO, and many other sponsors out there who have believed that the ASEAN is the way to go forward. I'd like to make special recognition to former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. She was the one who appointed me as a presidential advisor during her time. And that was the start when we founded the Go-Negosyo movement. Anyway, if not for her, we all would not be in this room today. I would also like to recognize my father, Jose Concepcion Jr. My father was a great mentor. He may not be mentally still in good condition, but he has been my inspiration all these years. 10 years ago, he was the chairman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council. And many of our members in the Business Advisory Council, who are all here today, were his colleagues. And 10 years today, I find myself as a chairman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council. Talk about destiny and talk about mentorship. Many of you here, including the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, all the chambers who have been very supportive of the private sector initiative of really changing the lives of Filipino people. This event and the ASEAN team partnering for change and creating prosperity for all is the most important thing, to my mind, that ASEAN has to achieve. Why? If not all countries would benefit from the unification of ASEAN, then the next 50 years, ASEAN will not last. If only a few countries benefit and the rest struggle, nothing will happen. Creating prosperity for all and leaving no nation behind is, to me, the most important objective of ASEAN. Each brother helping one to achieve a better life for their nation and their citizens. Our president, Rodrigo Duterte, was elected. Surprisingly, won the election, which meant that many Filipinos out there do feel that they have not been part of the growing economy. And we have seen that 99.6% of the entire business community belong to this sector. And this mirrors all the way down to the other ASEAN countries who are also in the same boat we are in. We have true admiration for countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, who really progressed. Many of them have lowered their poverty levels remarkably, and especially Vietnam. The biggest challenge in our country is agriculture. To me, agriculture is the game changer. It is what is going to change the lives of many of Filipino people. We in this room belong to the 0.4% of the entire business community. We in this room make decisions that will affect the lives of many of the Filipino people. Many of us control power, real estate, railroad, ports, etc. But inclusivity is why we are all here as human beings. It is about time that we try to change and balance the needs and our own needs of really practicing inclusivity. As I shared with many of our different businessmen and entrepreneurs in this room, being publicly listed, in control of our business, and all of that, sometimes it is hard to share the profits we have because we are faced with our own investors, faced with the challenge to grow, to expand, and to meet certain profit requirements. But then, how do we balance that with inclusive growth? And I'm glad that in the Philippines today, we're seeing our retailers open up their doors. It's the first step for more action, whereby we see supermarkets, SM, Robinson, Pure Gold, and all of them to start buying from the farmers. And that is what we need. Many of you in this room can control the destiny of your own suppliers. By mentoring them is very essential. The ASEAN Bank has adopted mentorship as its main deliverable this year. And the power of mentorship, as we have seen it yourselves, your own parents who have mentored you to where you are today, is what made you successful. What made me successful is my grandparents and my parents' mentorship, my school that mentored me, and my business partners that are with me today. And of course, the entire environment that we're all in today, the Kapatid movement that we have started together. And now, it's our chance to help. And in our country, the Department of Trade and Industry, with Secretary Ramon Lopez, a massive mentoring program. While we wish that education in our country can progress and really help our less fortunate, it will take time and resources. And I'm sure in many of the other Asian countries, it is the same thing. We have to start somewhere. And the power of mentorship is what I believe in. And this year, in November, the ASEAN Business Advisory Council will launch the ASEAN Mentorship Entrepreneurship Network. Amen. This will be composed of hundreds of entrepreneurs from each country that will now allow a sharing of mentors with one another in wherever their respective field is and strength. So again, the event is not going to be successful if we will not achieve prosperity for all. Many of you who are invited in this room are one reason why we believe that you can connect and help build an enabling community to start changing the lives of many of our micro and small entrepreneurs. In the end, life is short. We're not here to last, keep our wealth forever. At a certain point in time, as we age, and I'm aging, and I'm sure many of you are aging as well, we have to think of our next life and what it will mean. And I guess wealth used properly to help other people is what is asked of us. To those who are given most, the expectation is far more greater. And I request that this be the beginning of really creating greater prosperity for each and every citizen of the 10 ASEAN countries. Thank you.